Sometimes I mean you could give a I sometimes think you could give a rider a special rubber band to put in his back pocket and tell him it's a magic one that's going to make him go faster. If you believe in your team and your process, then that is 90% of it.
This is a man with both an incredible track record at the World Championship. Very hard on track.
Marginal gains, isn't it? They're famous in the road for doing every little small detail.
Is it possible to go into an off-season thinking about trying to gain 0.3?
A little bit of pace as he landed. So Danny Hart needs a 2:55. 0.3 goes third.
Maybe if I had another go that day, I would have been 0.3 up.
Hart goes into the bronze medal position.
Can you endlessly twist knobs and never come to a perfect setup?
Oh, you can easily twist knobs and never find anything close. You have to do it in a systematic, and you have to track everything. You can't just start turning, because one knob can do the same as another knob and they can all feel the same. So if you don't know where you started, you have no idea where you're going to end up.
Yeah, this is a bit of a problem.
At the end of the day, the performance of the bike is why we're here. We want to prove to people that we have the best bike along with the best riders, so it's essential that all that is working well. We're racing at the end of the day for tenths of a second and less.
So we're up at Fort William, couple of days extra practice here, just after we've done the BDS there at the weekend.
Well, we come here obviously because we're going to race here in a couple of weeks, and there's no better track to test something on, really. Like,
if someone to tell you this is as good as what you are using, 9 out of 10 people would be comfortable with that, and that would be enough information for them. That 1 out of 10 people have to try it for themselves, and that is these guys.
It's just for having more confidence, really, in knowing that the bike is a fast bike and it works for you.
In the start of practice, and when I'm not quite as used to the track, the bike can feel quite harsh and quite fast. But by the time I'm used to the track and I'm pushing on for finals and qualifying runs, it feels really good. So I think you won't be able to get to that point unless you're doing testing in the pre-season and really pushing on in the runs.
Riders need a setup they can rely on, but you also need somebody that's pushing for gains. This isn't hard, right? We're doing pretty basic stuff at the races. We're aiming for top quality performance that performs consistently.
to be fair, it's not really so much testing here because we haven't really got anything to test. It's just I'll be sectioning down the track and pushing in different sections, and we might find something. I've got a different tyre to test, but we don't as such have anything here different to try. Some people will come and they'll be trying a different headset or a different wheel size or whatever. We like are in a good place, so I'm not really one for changing sake, so it's just time on the track and pushing on. So when it comes the World Cup, I can get up to speed maybe quicker than other people.
His motivation is so high, and I used to obviously race myself. I didn't have anywhere near. I would love, like, finish a race, I used to love getting home and just having 2 or 3 days relax. He's got that want to get on the bike 5 hours after he's finished a race run, and I don't know how he does that. That's maybe why he's at the top.
I think every rider kind of deals with that in a different way, you know. Some riders think that maybe if they do more testing during the winter, you know, they get more confidence, and there are others that they just know they're good and they can just get to a race and do well.
Once you're dropped into elites, you can go either one of 2 ways. You can continue with not looking or checking or asking, or you can start going into the other way of like asking and asking and asking and changing. But where's the line? Where do you get so laid back that you don't make the small changes that you should to make the ride faster? I think some riders also use the puzzling bit as a way to calm the mind, to not be thinking about other things.
Most race weekends, we're talking about a few clicks here and there, slight pressure variations, but we're not making massive changes to the bike to get it to work for each track.
Personally, I think suspension's that good these days. You'd be lucky if you do anything other than get it set your weight, and then basically you set the adjustability to suit whatever pressures or whatever spring you're running for the weight of the rider. We change about 3 to 4 clicks across the season. That'll be about it really. It won't be a lot more than that.
You're looking always to stay with the game, but also to look for those advantages to get ahead. And you have to, while looking at what everybody else is doing and getting an understanding of what works best, you also have to believe in your own process and believe in your own designers and engineers that we have working in the background.
I think at the end of the day, because we're riding with the best people in the world, you just need to do what it works for you, and just learn how you are as an athlete.
Let's admit it, there'll be some riders out there you think, Christ, he could come down on a shopping trolley and believe he could win it, and he will, you know?
I think that's the biggest thing, is that you feel confident and you feel like you know how the bike will react. If you feel like you haven't ticked all the boxes, then it's harder for you mentally to take them risks in a race run.
For myself, I just try to know the bike as much as I can, and I've got, I would say, like a good relationship with it.
A lot of people will sit in the pits and try and find the perfect bike rather than getting up the hill and seeing what feels right. You know, there's so many people I see sat puzzling away just in the paddock.
For everyone across the board, it's more putting your mind to rest. So you see other people doing it. See, like especially this wheel size thing, you see other people who raced 27.5s last year, racing 29ers in the winter. A lot of lads might have been 110% comfortable on the 27.5, but they just had to do them times.
A lot of it is on timing for myself, and feel a little bit like, also when I went to the 27.5 rear wheel, I did feel like I could get through the corners quicker because it was more agile and better for me.
If you believe what you're doing, it doesn't matter what that setup is, he's going to go up there and go from A to B as fast as he can.
All a rider needs is the confidence, seriously. He needs the confidence to trust in the bike and just say, right, this is right for me, this is great. If you believe in your team and your process, and that is 90% of it, the rest of it, you know, it falls in line.
Bikes, they're just not motos or cars. They're so mental that the rider's a huge part of the whole equation. So it's just as much psychology as it is tech.
Let's punch the clock, come on, action. No more talk, I need action. Please stop popping off, come on, action. Give me what you got, I want action.
I often sit back and think, like, after a race, what you're actually thinking when you're doing it is just, there's nothing there. You're just like in a Zen state, I think, like, whoa.